I'll tell you, this is a very exciting day for Orange County. Certainly a very exciting one for me, personally as well. It's bittersweet a little bit, I guess. It is my last budget address as your county executive. And it's been an honor, as I've said over the years, to really serve the people of Orange County. And I have, I think, amassed the best team in Orange County's history. And certainly, I believe in the entire state of New York, the people that I work with each and every day are the best. Other county execs have told me that. NISAC people have told me that. So it's not something that the people in New York State don't realize, that we have put together the best that's out there. And I said you would always surround yourself with the better people. I never want to be the brightest guy in the room. That's a mistake. You want people around you that are brighter. You want people around you that get it. And you want people around you that have vision. And you let them, and you trust them on what they tell you. If you don't trust them, you have to fire them. If they're not loyal to you, you have to fire them. And I have had the ability over the years to have the best team. And we did get rid of a couple, not too many, because we felt they didn't, I guess, come up to that standard that we felt that was necessary for the best county in the state of New York. And don't ever forget that. We reside in the best county in the state of New York. Absolutely. Absolutely. And like I said, this is the job of not one person. This is the job of a lot of people. The legislature, all the legislators I've worked with over the years, when I was in the legislature and as county executive, all the department heads, all the commissioners, all the directors, deputy directors, the staff, the workers themselves, frontline workers that meet the people head on head each and every day. That's what we've tried to do. I think we've accomplished it. And hopefully there will be a new county executive. I wish them all the well in the world. I don't want them to fail. Are you kidding me? That's a joke. Why would I? I want them to be better. I want the county to get better. That was always our goal. Let's leave it better than when we started. And I think we've done that. So let me get into this a little bit. Maybe a little lengthy. It is what it is, I can tell you. And it was a detailed speech. It's a difficult speech. It's one that's not easy to give. It's a lot different than the ones you've heard in the past. And I think you'll be aware of that as we move through this process and let you know exactly what we had to do to make this work. Chairman Pillmeyer, Majority Leader Bonasek, Minority Leader Berkman, Leader Amo, members of the legislature, commissioners, directors, deputy commissioners and directors, Orange County government employees, especially my staff, the people around me each and every minute. Steve Gross, Richard Mayfield, Aricia Dimitrenko, Kristen Jensen, Donna Scritturi, Melanie Tanner, Sherry Herschel, Doreen Hamill, and Connor Gillis. These people are mainstays. They get it. We understand. They're very loyal, and that's very, very important. As well as the fellow citizens of Orange County and the taxpayers that we have to answer to each and every day. Thank you for joining me here today. As required by the Orange County Charter, it is my duty and obligation to present the budget for the coming fiscal year to Orange County Legislature on or before the first day of October each and every year. By the end of this presentation, I am confident that you will have a clear understanding of the considerable planning that went into preparing this budget, the financial outlook for the year 2014 and beyond, and the state of Orange County. There are some very big changes facing Orange County in the year ahead. As you well know, after 3 terms of office, I will be retiring at the end of this year. Also retiring are my friends and my colleagues, County Clerk Donna Benson and District Attorney Francis Phillips. Without a doubt, Donna is the finest county clerk in all of New York State, and has overseen an incredible transformation of her department, bringing it into the 21st century. Frank is an outstanding district attorney and the longest to serve in the county's history, and I do believe the second longest in New York State as we speak presently. He will leave behind a legacy of commitment to public safety and service. So Frank and Donna, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the hard work all the years. And after 12 years of service on the legislature, the past 4 as your chairman, we will also be saying goodbye to Chairman Michael Pillmeyer. Michael, thank you for your great leadership over the years and the knowledge and the many talks that we have had and the insight you have given me. So thank you. I wish all 3 the very best for a happy and healthy retirement. Your service to the people of Orange County is much appreciated and will greatly missed. This 2014 budget is the 12th and final budget I will have the opportunity to present to the people of Orange County and to the Orange County Legislature. During my tenure as county executive, 12 years, long time, while the budget process became more and more challenging each and every year, I am exceptionally proud to have a track record of nearly a total of over $7 billion in budgets. That's billion with a B. And they've been common sense, balanced budgets, prepared and presented to the legislature on time, each and every year, and year after year. Accomplishing the goal of a balanced and on-time budget is no easy feat. An incredible amount of work goes into preparing the budget each year. As you all know, the process begins in May. In August, each and every county office, department, and division presents their budget and makes their case to me and my staff. Budget Director Neil Blair and his budget and his entire team that is with him in budget over all these years begin to really do the hard work of putting the final touches on our budget. This year, the directive was clear. Department budgets should be flat or below their adopted 2013 budget. A tough task when department heads were given the same instructions last year and the year before. You just can't keep cutting and cutting. But they did. Just the same, after we went through our proposed budgets line by line, many left the hearings with feedback that they need to even tighten their belts and tighten things up even a little bit more. Each and every department was challenged with finding ways to do more with less. Once again, more with less. Long gone are the flush days when I stood before you and spoke of spending priorities, hiring plans, and a comfortable surplus in the county's general fund. Ongoing financial hardship, the likes of which have not been seen since the Great Depression. Skyrocketing fuel costs, the mandates imposed on our county by the state and federal governments have left us all feeling the pain in our bank accounts, both personally and professionally, forcing us to make those difficult choices. Less than a month ago marked the 5-year anniversary of the recession, and I call it close to a depression. An economic collapse from which we here in Orange County are still struggling to recover, just like many other parts of the nation. While some say the future is looking brighter, I'm just not so sure I agree on all of that. As you can see, the Consumer Price Index is down again. That's a chart that came out very recently, just to show where we are nationwide and certainly where we are as a nation. This September Consumer Confidence Survey notes that consumer confidence has slipped slightly from August to September amid ongoing concerns about jobs and earnings. According to the survey, the consumer outlook on the labor market has grown more pessimistic, not optimistic. While Orange County's unemployment rate has gone down, nearly 1 point from a year ago today, and that's great. That's great. It is still hard for the unemployed to find jobs. The most recent Consumer Price Index information said that those who are employed and on average earned less pay for more goods according to the July numbers. Less pay though. Working, less pay. Another slide, you can see the cost of the goods. Clothing up, gas up, food up, housing, cars, medical. To raise a child today, up to 18 years of age, it's $242,000, $241,000. And that excludes college costs. But you know, as we all know here, it doesn't stop at 18. If you're a parent, grandparent, you understand that could go on for a lifetime. And that's okay. But the point is that number, I think, is even kind of small, not what the true number is. It even hit the news recently that the cost of raising a child 18 has risen 3%. So that's even gone up from 2011. For those of you who still have children at home, you'll want to know that those costs are the highest in the Northeast. New York State are the highest. Let's not forget the rising mortgage rates that were very, very low, historically low, starting to creep up. The challenge of sequestration, some of our own county departments have been caught in the dust up from that. And unfortunately, the threat of federal government shutdown has now become a reality as of last night. That is a travesty. As you can see some of the headlines and what it says. I stand here before you on this date because it is my responsibility. Unlike our elected officials in Washington, D.C., we do not have the luxury of kicking the can down the road any longer. Our employees expect timely paychecks. Our vendors need to be paid and paid on time. In a speech last week, New York Federal Reserve President William Dudley said that consumers and businesses are still hesitant to spend and the outlook remains shaky. I can certainly understand where he's coming from. Over the past 5 years, another slide I think, I have warned that dark clouds are on the horizon and that we must be ready ourselves for the coming storm. If we've learned anything from our recent experiences with Irene, Lee, and Sandy, it's that the key to weathering the storm is to be prepared for that storm. You can weather it, but you better be prepared. In fact, September was National Preparedness Month to bring attention to the steps individuals should take for themselves to be ready for a storm. As a county, we have done our best to heed the message of preparedness. Time and time again, we have looked at new ways to trim expenses. We have implemented hiring freezes, eliminated travel, renegotiated purchasing contracts, reduced overtime, and pursued group purchasing opportunities, and so much more. We've turned over all the rocks. Also, that we could continue to stretch our dollars just a little bit farther. For example, we renegotiated a collective bargaining agreement and eliminated the paid lunch hour, resulting in a savings of nearly $10 million over the past decade. Just to give you an idea of that impact. $10 million, 10 years, on changing one thing in the contract, new for new employees, never hurting the employee that had the benefit when they were here or attained it. We don't believe in taking away. We believe in changing going forward. Because if you want to work here, you know the rules. If you don't want to work here, go somewhere else. That's fair. But has it been enough? I would say no. The legislature has put off the tough decisions they were elected to make. Elected by the same people that elected me. And they want the hard decisions and they want the easy decisions. But they need decisions. Now those dark clouds are no longer on the horizon. They are looming overhead. And I am fearful that they are about to burst open, dousing us with torrential rain. The question is, are we ready? Even Moody's Investor Services warned us this year of their concerns for our financial future. For the first time in 4 rating cycles, Moody's attached a negative outlook to our hard-earned AAA bond rating. We earned it 3 years ago, in the height of, I say, certainly a recession and maybe even close to a depression. And we earned it. We earned it. It's not Ed, Diana. We all earned that by hard work. Let's not lose that. That would be a travesty. They expressed concern over certain aspects of the county's finances, which may adversely affect future ratings if not addressed and addressed now. They are a dependency on economically sensitive sales tax revenues, decline in our reserve levels, and a tax-based deterioration resulting in negative operational impact. This international rating agency is sending us the message loudly and clearly that if these items are left unchecked, Orange County's financial future could be jeopardized. I agree with New York Fed President Dudley. The outlook is very shaky. That is why it is critical that we maintain our commitment to fiscal prudence. It is our long-term financial benefit to retain that AAA bond rating status and remain one of only 2 counties in the state of New York to hold that distinction, and only 87 counties out of over 3,140 counties in the entire nation. Let's keep it. Our experienced finance team, under the leadership of Commissioner Joel Kleinman, strives to ensure that our county finances and related reporting are in order and comply with all state and federal regulations. I think there's a slide. For 17 years in a row, Orange County has been recognized for excellence in financial reporting by the Governmental Finance Officers Association of the United States for the presentation of our comprehensive annual financial reports. This recognition affirms that we comply with all generally accepted accounting standards, and it is the highest form of recognition in the area of governmental accounting and financial reporting that you can achieve. And we have done that 17 straight years. It is this responsible financial management as a county, a commitment to being prepared, overseen by the county exec's office, budget, and finance, and a concerted effort by department heads that has carried us through thus far, providing us with the necessary cushion to see our county through the difficult times. We are certainly fortunate to have had cushion to rely on as the times got tougher, and have carried us on far too long, and I believe that anyone ever anticipated that it would take this long. Over the past few years, in order to balance our budget, we have been forced to draw down on our general fund surpluses. A step that was necessary again this year. We have been one of the lucky counties, having significant surpluses to help us through these past few very difficult years. And we have even been able to replenish much of that surplus as these years went on. However, as the tough times dragged on and the unnecessary drains on our resources are allowed to continue, our reliance on the surplus became greater, and the county's ability to replenish it steadily decreased. Mindful of these challenges and the present economic conditions on the local, state, and national levels, I am confident that the operating budget I'm presenting today for the fiscal year 2014 is the most viable, most responsible plan possible so that our great county of Orange may continue to meet the needs of our residents to the best of our abilities, provide critical programs and services, and preserve and protect our county's long-term financial health as the economic challenges continue to be unabated and continue to go up. I think there's a slide, Chris. Chairman Perlmeyer and members of the Orange County Legislature, I present to you the county's executive proposed budget for fiscal year 2014 in the amount of $731 million, a 3% decrease from the 2013 approved budget. This budget represents a decrease of 3% from last year's approved budget of $756,600,000. It was necessary to use nearly $40 million in general fund surpluses for the third year in a row to balance the 2014 budget. As I've already made clear, the challenges presented to us in preparing the 2014 budget were extraordinary. Each and every department plan was put under budgetary microscope, carefully examining and considered for the benefit it would bring to the residents of the county. Because when it comes right down to it, what we do each and every day, what we were elected to do, is to serve our residents. In my position as county executive, I am also chief financial officer, and it is my responsibility to do what is right for the people who call this great county of Orange home. Of this total budget, $386 million will be collected locally through sales and property tax. The Orange County sales tax rate will remain the same at 3.75% and is projected to generate approximately $272 million in revenue, of which $200 million will be used to support county programs and services. More than $71 million of the collected sales tax will be distributed between Orange County's municipalities, cities, towns, and villages to help ease their financial burdens and to reduce the taxes and the tax burden on their residents as well. Because don't forget, their residents are our residents. And we're going to give them $71 million. A lot of money. Use it right. A proposed 1.66 increase in the tax levy for the coming year will keep Orange County within the governor's property tax cap. The 2014 property rate will be $3.88 per thousand, and 3 municipalities will realize a decrease in their property rates overall. For most municipalities, this will result in a charge of no more than 35 cents per $1,000. When there's so much in the news each and every day about the cost of government, residents and taxpayers start taking an interest in knowing how their tax dollars are being spent. And that's one of the things that make our nation great. They have a right to know. They should know. It's their money. We just watch out for their money. And it's our money. We're part of it. We live here. We pay taxes here. When I speak with the residents out in the communities, they're always surprised to hear that how we spend our tax dollars is not completely at our discretion. There's other people that are involved. I like to be able to say that Orange County taxpayer money is used entirely to meet the needs of Orange County taxpayers. But the truth of the matter is, each year there are fewer and fewer local dollars left for us to put to work for local purposes. As you can see, Orange County, like other counties throughout the state, is being choked nearly to death by state and federal mandates. They account for almost $528 million, or 72% of the $731 million budget. Social services programs alone require $111 million, or 97% of the total annual collected by county tax dollars of $114 million. Let me say that again. Take a moment for it to sink in. Social services programs alone consume 97% of Orange County total annual collected county tax dollars. Think about it this way. For every dollar Orange County collects, 97 cents goes towards social services programs, be it Medicaid, temporary assistance, emergency housing, leaving just a mere 3 cents left for us towards other county programs. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm in no way picking on social services or their great programs. I firmly believe that it is our duty as a county to provide and help provide to our neighbors that are in need. And we are fortunate to have, I think, the finest social services commissioner in all of New York State, David Jolly, who works tirelessly to see that the needs of our residents are met and represents the needs of Orange County in Albany. He's on task forces in Albany. The governor talks to him. NYSAC certainly talks to him. He's an expert in the field of social services, and we have him. Be thankful we have him. But I also believe just as firmly that the onerous mandate programs and state-imposed property tax cap force us and squeezes out the life out of most all of us. And this is not new. We have been struggling with this for decades. For decades. While we know that there are dozens, probably hundreds of programs and services provided by the state, remarkably just 9 New York State mandates consume 90% of the property taxes collected in the entire state of New York. Is that something? 9 of those mandates. 90% of all the property taxes collected in New York State go just to those 9 mandates. Slide, please. You can see what the 9 are. Medicaid, $85 million. That's ours. Our required support of this program effectively crowds out additional county services. The Public Assistance Safety Net program cost our county $46 million a year. In recent years, New York State has continued to transition public assistance programs to the counties, not the state, to the counties, by effectively removing all state financial support for program and administrative costs. While the Federal Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, food stamps, is a federal program and 100% of the benefits are a federal expense, unlike other states in the nation, the state of New York contributes nothing, zero, to the cost of administering this program. That burden is on the counties. Child welfare, protective and prevention services. The state has continued to divest its long-standing commitment to the safety, service delivery, and continuing care and adoption of children and well of being a child by simply cutting state reimbursements by 3% on this program and capping the state's reimbursement for detention and foster care. Our children, while adding new mandates at the same time at a rate that's astronomical. But again, attacking our children. As a father, a grandfather, a retired teacher, coach, small businessman, and as your county executive,
the most important.
I understand and appreciate our obligation to protect our young people. That's why in 2013 we added 6 additional child protective workers to our local workforce to manage the rising and burdensome caseloads in that department. The protection of children from abuse and neglect may be a local priority, but we again call on the state of New York to share this priority in their 2014-15 budget. They should be at least partners. Preschool special education and early intervention programs frequently making the news these days, will cost Orange County $40 million combined in 2014. This is a program that really belongs in the schools. Early intervention. Preschool. It belongs in the educational system. It doesn't belong in the government system. But it's here. We do it. We do it well. Schools might do it better. But they wanted the burden to shift to the counties, not to the schools. Because the schools are already overburdened. Schools are already cutting. Schools' taxes are already outrageous. Not only here, everywhere. It's time for reform on how we pay for schools. But nobody in the state legislature wants to address that issue. It has to be addressed. There has to look at a way of providing it other than just through property tax. My opinion only. I have nothing to say about it. It should be maybe some sales tax, some personal income tax, and some property tax. A formula that could be fluctuated each and every year to try to keep costs down. But I've said it for many years, it falls on deaf ears. Capping off the big 9 that are beyond the county's control are indigent defense. At $5.8 million, youth detention at 4, probation at 10.9, and last, but you are well aware, not least, employee pensions. You can see what the pension costs have done. In 2002, when I took office, it was $2 million. That's our responsibility to the state. Now, a mere 12 years later, $27 million. Our responsibility to the state. That's a $25 million increase. Tough to overcome. We have, and we will. It's our responsibility. But just to give you an idea of what the increase is and how much that is. And there's been some reform. Tier 6, 5, things have changed to help. It's not immediate help, it's more long-term help. They've allowed the counties to borrow over 5 years to pay for that instead of coming out of pocket on the first year and pay the state interest. Is that a joke? We'll let you borrow our money, pay us on time, but county, we want interest on top of it. No, thank you. I don't want to pay interest. We paid ours. And that's not all. Related employee benefits expenses include an additional $48 million budgeted for hospital insurance costs and over $6 million for workmen's compensation. Total employee benefits projected for 2014 are $95 million in just Orange County, New York. A lot of money. So now you see it all. Once again, mandated programs. Primary, these big 9, the big 9 are killers. Leave us responsibility for expenses that are beyond our control, and eat away at the bulk of our property tax dollars collected by our county. And you all know me. I hate paying when I have no control on paying and who I'm paying and why I'm paying. So I hate that, but that's a fact of life. Providing these mandates leaves us scarce funds remaining to provide the programs and services the people who live here need, expect, and deserve. And little left over to prepare us for the financial storm that is clearly brewing. I know that these are not challenges we are facing alone. Just last week at the fall meeting of the NYSAC Association, all the counties, I had the opportunity to speak with my colleagues in county governments throughout the state of New York, from Montauk to Buffalo. Everybody. All expressed concerns about all the same and similar issues. Every one of them are the same. They're being spoke everywhere. Nowhere is unique in the entire state of New York. A quick look at the NYSAC meeting agenda confirms that program topics included health insurance, shared services and procurement, negotiations, financial management, economic development, job creation, business attraction, early intervention, property taxes, assessments, and I could go on and on and on. But that proves that what they were talking about in their sessions at the conference, they felt that strongly that the entire state should hear it. And they did. And they heard it loud and clear. We hear it year after year. But it's a fact. You can't hide from the facts, ladies and gentlemen. They are what they are. We are all in that same boat. That's why it is critical for counties to work together. Everybody to work together. The legislature and the county execs. The legislature and the county managers. The legislators themselves. It doesn't matter if you're a Republican or a Democrat, an independent, a conservative, a liberal. Doesn't matter. When we get to the table, the titles go away. The distinctions go away. It's how do we compromise to get what is right for the people. I said it yesterday in the building meeting. Most of you probably were shocked. You wanted to fall off your chairs. But I told you I was ready to compromise. Move forward. Let's build a consensus. Let's have an answer for the people. Not us. We are the people. We're elected by the people, by them, to represent them. That's a representative form of government, which we were built on, which we're the freest nation on, which people die for. Let's carry it out. Stop the bickering. Stop the compromise. Nonsense. You don't want to be like Washington. That is a joke. No, it's not a joke. It's a travesty. To put our government in sequestration, to put them on the verge of bankruptcy, to not pay your bills in the first time in the history of the nation? What is that about? Politics? That's sickening. Don't let it happen here. Come together, all of us, and let's do what's right. It's hard. There are tough decisions. I get it more than anybody. That's why it's critical for counties to work together and for our commissioners and directors to hold leadership roles in their respective fields, professional organizations, to advocate and have our voices heard in Albany, which we do. Many of our commissioners have been presidents of their organizations. Don and Frank have been president. I've been president. Doesn't mean anything. The title doesn't mean anything. What it means is that we get to hear people. We get to listen. We get to be advocates. We get to have a pulpit to try to move things forward the way we see it should move forward. We. Fortunately, with every cloud, there is a silver lining, which is good. And I know that despite some clear challenges before us and some ongoing unresolved issues, we are certainly pursuing the right course in many, many ways here in Orange County. We remain one of the fastest growing counties in the state of New York. People want to come here. They want to stay here. They want to live here. To me, that means we're doing a lot of things right, because not many people would come where they don't want to come. We're the opposite. They want to be here. These are the great things. These are what we should talk about each and every day. Community college, the best in the state of New York. We were the first. We are the best. We still are the best. One of the largest building projects of any school in the SUNY system, 4 or 2 year, was accomplished in this county. We have easy, accessible, affordable, high-quality education opportunities for our residents to avail of themselves. At the Middletown campus, there's a new parking garage. They wanted it for decades. They needed it. We have it. It has made life so much easier for the students, the faculty, visitors. A childhood development lab school that is second to none. And a soon-to-be-built science and tech building as well, underway. 90,000 square feet. On time, on budget. We know how to build things in this county. We've built an awful lot. Understand, you build it once, they don't have to build it behind you. We've left that legacy. They don't have to build another college in Newburgh. They don't have to build another college in Middletown. They don't have to build a fire training center. They don't have to build a burn building. They don't have to do a Thomas Bull Park anymore. It's done. They don't have to do the greatest emergency management building in the whole East Coast. We're sitting in it. Hopefully they will have to not build a new government center. We will have that answer figured out and start forward on it. Somebody else will do that. It won't have to be built again. The debt service stops. It comes down because we built them already. We included them in the debt service. Be proud of that. You did it. You're part of it. You have a great legacy for the county. Say that. Not the negatives. Be positive. And Newburgh, the Kaplan Building, is a crown jewel of the community. We helped reinvigorate a community by putting a college in the downtown area of the city. An all-American city 50 years ago. It can be an all-American city again. It's people. It's faith. It's schools. The best highway system in the state of New York. An open water port. An international airport. In our county. The best military academy in the world. The best shopping area in international. Right here. In your hometowns. Be proud of it. I am. My daughters are. My grandchildren will be. My wife is. My family is. You should be. Forget the negatives. Forget the talk about the positives. You have a lot of them. And guess what? You'll all get reelected. Because people know. They're watching. They re-elect the people that do something. They may take people out that do nothing and take us backwards, not forwards. Do we make mistakes? You better believe it. I don't know who hasn't. One person up top looking down, maybe. Everybody else has made mistakes. You correct the mistakes. You learn from the mistakes. You move forward on the mistakes. Don't deny the mistakes. Don't deny them. Strong support of education. I think that is paramount. If you don't support education, you don't support the future. You don't support our children. Who are the future? Who are the leaders that will sit in these seats? Who may be the president? Think about that. Wouldn't that be great to have somebody from Orange County be the president? I think so. Won't be a Diana, we know that, and that's okay. But maybe my grandson, how's that? Or maybe my granddaughter. And I would love that. How's that? And you all should love that. Oh, I know my daughters will love that. So, but that's what we got to do. Talk the positives. And I'll talk them with you. I'll sell them with you. I'm a pretty good salesman. Trust me. But you got to believe in education. Our residents demand it, and they should. Today's businesses require an educated workforce that has the skills to succeed, including an understanding of technology and communication, so that our residents may continue to use education to open doors for a brighter future. The 2014 budget includes $17,600,000 for SUNY Orange. First time in recollection, I believe first time in history, that the college has presented a budget that is flat. Same as last year, this year, because Dr. Richards listened. His staff listened. We needed to cut costs. He brought it in at flat. Job well done, Dr. Richards. Thank you for doing that. You did what we asked you to do. To further support our county's commitment to education and self-improvement, this year's budget includes funding for library systems and Literacy Orange. I believe in it. I'll continue to fund it. Without a doubt, it is unique quality of life that we have here in Orange County that makes people want to live, work, and raise a family right here, right here. Many even come to play here and absolutely try to stay here. How lucky are we that two of New York's most popular tourist attractions, I already mentioned, Woodbury Common and U.S. Military Academy, are right here. Be proud of those. We have many great partner agencies that work with us to ensure the quality of life we treasure is maintained for generations to come. Equally important is that our cherished lifestyle is attractive to visitors who visit our art galleries, our museums, our farms, and the like, and create a ripple effect that supports our entire economy. When those people come through tourism to visit, our entire economy flourishes. While I wish that that 2014 budget could include funding for all the non-for-profits that ensure our quality of life, the current economic climate prevents me from doing so. I have included $256,000 so that we may, in a small way, lead to a supporting hand to organizations that share our deeply rooted commitment to preserving and promoting all that we love about Orange County. Supporting public safety has been a guiding principle throughout my administration. People want to live, work, and play and raise their families in a place where they feel safe and secure. The fact that Orange County continues to be one of the fastest growing counties in New York State is a testament to our commitment to ensuring public safety. Sadly, our eyes were opened to the safety needs of our schools following last year's Newtown tragedies. So that our own schools can learn from the senseless deaths in the part of a community in another part of our country, the 2014 budget includes $500,000 for the Orange County School Advisory Safety Assessment Grant Evaluation Program, that the legislature was paramount in that and wanted that to happen, and now we have made it happen, and we funded it again for another $500,000. Some very innovative programs that I believe will make a difference for our young people have already begun to develop as a result of this year's funding, and some of those buildings have become more secure. Sheriff Carl Du Bois and his deputies work diligently and tirelessly, and Under Sheriff Jones are there each and every day, 24/7, 365 days a year, to do their work, their part in keeping our community safe for everyone. Thank you, Sheriff. Under Sheriff, thank you for what you do each and every day. The 2014 proposed budget includes funding in the amount of $16 million for the Sheriff's Office. A career in law enforcement is not for everyone. It's difficult, so it's not for everyone. It takes personal commitment, sacrifice, and ongoing training each and every day. For a public safety officer, a mistake can mean the difference between a life and a death. That's why it's not traditional. That's why it's not the norm. Life and death. That's big. That's big. Think about it. I'm proud to include $25,000 in the budget for our police academy. We started a few years ago. First in the history of the county. We will maintain and deliver some small dollars to that academy for the training purposes of our future police officers throughout this great county and even other counties available themselves to that great academy. On behalf of the people of Orange County, I want to thank our law enforcement professionals for choosing this very challenging career path. It seems one cannot look at the news these days without entertaining a story of a motor vehicle accident or major fire. That's why the 2014 budget includes continued funding for EMS, fire services, training programs. Without the invaluable volunteerism in this county, volunteer makes up so much of those agencies. Lives would certainly be lost. Thank you again for your services in a very critical, necessary area. And Commissioner Corey, thank you for leading. Orange County is home to 3 cities, Middletown, Newburgh, and Port Jervis. I was born and raised in one of them, Middletown. And they are the anchors of our county and the community life and home to many of our county residents. They too have felt the hardships of the difficult economic times, perhaps even more so than we have at the county level. To help the cities enhance their budgets and continue programs that are important to our residents, Orange County has supported them with special funding for much of my administration. I am happy to say that we are able to increase this funding from last year's amount of $25,000 each to $35,000 each for 2014. I think they'll be happy. Use the funds wisely. I know Jeff Berkman will be happy. So that's an increase of $10,000 each for them. I know this funding will have a positive impact on our cities. It should come as no surprise to anyone in the room today that I'm an aggressive advocate for economic development. Because with economic development comes jobs, 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 and more jobs. And that's what we have to do. We had a meeting this morning with R.J. Smith on a very important project for Orange County that made it be coming to fruition very quickly. Watch for announcements later. Hopefully it works out for us. I think it would be wonderful for the county. Any elected official that is not focused on job creation should be re-examining his or her priorities. I can tell you that. You can see what our sign says, Orange County open for business. Throughout my administration, I've sent the message loudly and clearly that Orange County is open for business. And now Governor Cuomo himself has an advertising campaign sending that same message. Good ideas, I guess, ultimately catch on. Our residents need good paying jobs close to their homes. Close to their homes. And we want our children and our grandchildren to be able to live here and work here, if that is their desire. Live here, but they also must have to work here. But in order to make that a reality, they need employment opportunities. That's why Orange County government works closely with partner agencies. Orange County Partnership, Orange County Chamber, Pattern for Progress, Industrial Development Agency, Business Accelerator, Hudson Valley Economic Development Corp., and the State Economic Development Corporation to attract and retain businesses here in the county. All personal friends of mine, all great leadership, all working towards one goal: job creation, job expansion, and job retention, but also attracting new. I thank you all for that hard work. With those businesses come jobs, construction investment, and so much more. It is a ripple effect felt across the county that sometimes is just too hard to put the number on, but it's a very high number when the ripple effect takes over. And I am proud to report that our economic development team has had some real home runs recently. A few weeks back, I think it was 2, we celebrated the grand opening of MediaCom in Blooming Grove. More than 1,000 people, including local, state, and federal elected officials, not to mention celebrities that were on hand to cut the ribbon for this beautiful new office space right here in Blooming Grove. You can see that building. You can see what it's about. Did you know that the race car driver legend Mario Andretti and Yankee great Willie Rudolph were there, just to name a few celebrities, at that same opening? I guess Rocco knows a few people. In addition to celebrations there, retaining MediaCom brought a $40 million capital investment to Orange County, maintained 250 jobs. There's another 50 that have already been added, and there's a possibility of creating another 150 jobs in the near future. Right here, Rocco Camiso, his firm, resides in 22 states in the union. He could have went anywhere. He chose to stay in Orange County. He developed that company in the garage of his house about 15 or 16 years ago, and he's grown it to that. It's now well over $1 billion corporation. It's the 8th largest cable company in the nation, homegrown, right here in a garage. I guess Bill Gates, Steve Jobs weren't too far. They weren't too far ahead of Rocco Camiso's vision. And last week we welcomed United Natural Health Foods here for the groundbreaking ceremony in Montgomery, New York, in the town of Montgomery. For their new distribution center, UNFI will bring in a $55 million capital investment and 400 new jobs right here in Orange County. That's a lot of jobs. We also are seeing things take final shape in the Coach USA short line in Chester, New York. This project has been a long time in the making and on the books. We began talks in 2006 with then Christine Falzone and George Greaves of Shortline. Christine has since retired. George is still there. We speak to him a lot. We see the construction going well underway as we speak. It's a $16 million investment, and will bring another 200 and some jobs, relocating from another state right here to Orange County, New York. Another great home run. MediaCom, UFI, and USA Coach had many choices about where they could locate, but they liked what they had here in Orange County. They had like what we had to offer, a business-friendly environment, a commitment to development team like nowhere else, proximity to the major metropolitan areas, transportation hubs, a international airport, and many, many more things. A few more like this would go a long way in giving our local economy the boost it needs. I know our economic development team is an A team, is leaving no stones unturned in their efforts to attract and retain new businesses right here in Orange County. Keep up the great work. I am proud of these and many other accomplishments we have had as a county this year. I wholeheartedly agree there have been some bright spots, but we must not lose sight of the impending storm that remains looming overhead. Among the thunderclouds is our rapidly dwindling general surplus funds. Scares me to death. It is the dwindling of general surplus funds. It is the availability of these funds that make it possible once again to balance our budgets. We are fortunate to have had surplus funds in the past to help us through the time. I heard from many of my NISAC colleagues last week that many counties do not have their surpluses, and many are teetering on the brink of bankruptcy. I am fearful that Orange County's continued reliance on surplus without adequately replenishing it each and every year will soon have us teetering as well. Teetering as well. Unheard of in our vocabulary. Let's talk some surplus fund numbers, because numbers don't lie. 1 is 2. 1 and 1 is not whatever you want it to be. Some accountants try to pull that. They don't have a license very long. 1 and 1 is still 2. Not 1 and 1 is whatever you want it to be or what you think it says. Numbers don't lie. Numbers are factual. As of December 31st, 2012, and I'm going to take my time because this is critical, we had $57 million available in the general fund. Nearly $40 million was used in planning the 2014 budget, because we didn't know 13 yet, understand? That's why we didn't talk that. As well as $8.4 million was appropriated by the legislature for Valley View, leaving $9 million. That's what it is. 40 plus 8 plus 9, add them up, is 57 million. That's how we get to the number. That's why numbers don't lie. With a potential additional $6 million needed to fund Valley View before the year end. We are looking at slightly more than $3 million remaining at year end. Assuming we are able to replenish $20 million by year end. We talked about when we get our audit all done, probably in March or April of next year, let's hope we were able to put $20 million back on top of it. Okay? Let's hope. We have had in the past. Hopefully we continue to trend. I think the trends are trending that way. So that number will bounce back up to $23 million starting January 1 of 2014. Surplus. Sounds good, right? 23 million, what? Okay. Not so. Keep in mind that it has been necessary to use nearly $40 million of that surplus for the last 3 years to balance the budget. Every year. 23 minus 40. Or 40 minus 23, whatever you want to say. Leaves us 17 million short. In the red. In the hole. $17 million. Just to give you an idea. What's potential? I repeat, 17 million. However, some say math doesn't work. It does work. That's easy. That's arithmetic. I don't know if they even teach it today, but we understand it. We were taught this way. Boom! The lightning strikes. The thunder comes out. The skies have opened. And we are in the midst of a financial storm to cataclysmic proportions that we never wanted to be in. And that's where we are. As captain of this ship, I have tried my best to steer us out of that storm, away from the dangers. I have drastically cut and curtailed spending, sought new ways to generate revenue, even found not one, not two, but 3 viable candidates interested in purchasing Valley View. I did, the legislative committee did. 3 viables. Let's just repeat real fast for the public to hear this. The best of the 3 were prepared to take the responsibility of the county-run nursing home about this time a year ago, and was prepared to pay Orange County $18 million to take ownership of the facility. $18 million. Check. Orange County. 18 million. 1 year ago. The bleeding would have stopped. What I mean by that is, we lose 1.5 million a month. Numbers don't lie. They were willing to take it over a year ago. Write us a check at the closing for 18 million, but take the bleeding over a year ago. 1.5 a month, 12 months later, 18 million more. 18 the bleeding, 18 in the check. That's 36 mil. A lot of money. That we're losing every month under county ownership. Would have stopped immediately. That would have put us in a very difficult financial situation. We would have been discussing a very different time today and a financial outlook here this afternoon and going forward. It would have been a lot different. That would have been off our books. The legacy costs would have stopped. We certainly had them going forward. Like when anybody else retires out of this government, we have to pay legacy costs. They're employees for the county, we would have that cost. It's not hidden. We understand that. But they would have stopped immediately going forward. There's no more legacy going forward because there's no new people being hired under county auspices. It's under a private provider. But understand what that meant. Some say it might be bad, worse care. I'm not so sure. They pass the same requirements, the same scrutiny as the state and federal governments want them to do, and they should, as every public, non-for-profit, or profit nursing home in the state of New York. To give you an example, there's probably left in the state 30, 25 public nursing homes, and there's well over 675 non-for-profit or profit nursing homes. Just to give you an idea. 25, 700. I think we all do a good job of providing that service when people need it. It would have kept the jobs here. It would have paid property tax. It would maybe even enhance services. It wouldn't have cut the services. And it'd be in our county. I think they're all pluses. And help the financial burden of the county and still have the service provided for our residents. In the latest count, ladies and gentlemen, was 343 people are in the facility, 94% occupancy, which is good, very good. Because we have great workers that provide great service to those residents. And I commend them. And it's a hard job. I wouldn't want to do the job. And they do it exceptionally well. But it's not to say that no one else would, or could, or does, or doesn't. That's a tough decision. I made the decision. I need 21 other people to make the hard decision. And think it all through for the future of the greatest county in the state of New York. Let us not fall from that. Let us stay there. We've attained it. Be proud of attaining it. Don't fall from there. Instead, Valley View continues to bleed money. Commissioner Ledoux and his team are doing their very best, looking at all opportunities to generate revenue and cut expenses, and they've done some. Certainly not enough. You can't overcome the burden. They have readjusted staffing levels, enhanced admission outreach efforts, and reviewed and cut unnecessary contracts. While we make meaningful changes in our effort to ward off the storm, we continue to wait for practical, realistic concessions from the CSEA that might actually have had a positive impact. Like waiting on the union, there are some things that are just beyond our control, especially when New York State doesn't want counties in the business of operating nursing homes any longer. It's not just me saying that. Look at what's happening in counties across the state. Suffolk County, largest county in the state of New York, don't forget it, had a nursing home. They had a buyer, same buyer. Their buyer offered $33 million for theirs. Stop the bleeding. Take it over. The county exec liked the deal. Legislature pushed it back. Guess what? 6 months ago, the county executive, a new one, on his own, not with legislative approval, closed the nursing home. There were 68 residents left. He locked the door on the nursing home. I never, ever wanted to close the facility or lock the door. I had to do something that it brought attention, and it brought attention now. We did that because we floated the idea, never wanting it to happen. Did I want it to be sold? Yes. Did I want the same services? Yes. Did I want enhanced services? Yes. Did I want the employees to continue to work there, most of them? Yes. We didn't get there yet. We're still bleeding. My fear is I won't have to lock the door anymore. But will the next county executive have to lock the door? I hope not. I pray not. Let them think about that decision, if there's a hard decision. And here's what. Suffolk County closed. Ulster County sold. Fulton County sold. Essex County sold. Ontario County, sale pending. Washington and Steuben both have purchase agreements. Albany, Cayuga, Chemung, Geneseo, Otsego, all doing studies and exploring their options. And they're all leaning towards sale. And there are others. All after we floated the idea, after many of those county execs and county leaders called me and said, what are you doing? Sounds good. We can't do it any longer. How are you getting there? I said, I think we get there. I think we have a legislature that understands it, that gets it, and will make the hard decision. Because it's heart-wrenching. It is tough. You read the list. The list is fact. We're not alone. We were first. In August, the Center for Governmental Research released a new report, over 170-some pages, The Future of County Nursing Homes in New York State. The opening statement reads, virtually all nursing homes across the state of New York, whether operated by county, non-for-profit company, or non-for-profit operator, or a profit company, face wide-ranging, significant challenges. For the county-owned homes, however, the future is especially troublesome. It goes on to say the financial stability of county homes has eroded substantially over the past several years. All county homes. This should not come as news to any of us in this room today. I first alerted the Orange County legislature as well as the Valley View residents and their families to the challenges we had back in 2003, 10 years ago. In resolutions to the governor, this very legislative body brought their concerns regarding financial viability of county nursing homes to Albany's attention in 2005. Your resolutions. But here we are, 8 years, 10 years later, still having the same discussions, a lot of the same faces, but with still the same challenges. Still going nowhere, still refusing to accept reality or responsibility. And while we barely tread water, the restrictions placed on county-run nursing homes by New York State continue to leave Orange County financially strapped, as well as all the other counties that are left. There's not many. I'm proud of our staff there, the quality, the compassion, the care they provide. And with a shadow of a doubt, I believe that their jobs and the care should remain in this county, just not under county ownership. But the financial reality is needed. I need to do what is right for all 372,000 people in the county of Orange, all the residents, not just for the 334 that reside at Valley View this moment. It is time that a decision is made regarding the future of Valley View. The residents and their families, employees deserve it. They need to know. We can agree to disagree, but let's agree on one thing, that something must be done. The people need to know. Now. Right now. For that reason, the 2014 budget contains only 4 months of funding for Valley View. To provide any more than that would put this county smack in the eye of the storm, looking to a way to survive. It is my responsibility to do what's ever right for all the people of the county. It has been an honor and a privilege to serve Orange County as the highest elected official for the past 12 years, but I'm also the chief financial officer of this county. In good times and in bad, it is an incredible responsibility to prepare a budget of this magnitude, $731 million. And I have done the very best to ensure that we are prepared in the event of a rainy day, or worse. But now we are looking at more than a few sprinkles, but rather a deluge, a storm, clouds ready to open. And in times like these, a team effort is the best approach to weathering that storm. A team approach. The dark clouds are directly over us, and the outlook for Orange County is shaky. But I love it here. You all love it here. I live here. I intend to die here. That's okay. It's a great spot. It's a great spot. Now is the time to work together as a team, more than ever. I urge Orange County's 21 legislators to do what is right for the future of the greatest county in the state of New York. Yes, you're all elected in the district. We get that. But once you get here, you represent 372,000 people. Do what's right for them all. Yeah, there are times you can do what's right just for your district. I know it. I get it. I did it. I lived it. But do it right this time for everybody. And that includes yourselves. It includes your children. It includes your grandchildren. That's everyone. And yes, we will look out for our workers. Yes. One thing I'm proud about, 12 years, no layoffs. Unheard of. We did it. We did it with no layoffs. Yes, we had a few at Valley View because we closed the building because of the Burger Commission. State of New York forced us. I didn't need that many workers. Still a tough decision. But other than that, very few. I count them probably on one hand. No layoffs. I'm proud of that. Because layoffs mean nothing but bad. Unemployment, no jobs, losing your houses, no food on the table, can't sleep at night. That's bad. We accomplished it together. No layoffs. Be proud of that. The workforce should be proud of that. They said thank you for that. My children and grandchildren live here. Many of yours do as well. I want them to be able to continue to live here, work here, enjoy a bright future, successful futures that are here. Yeah, that's my family. That's my immediate family. I'm proud of it. I didn't even know they'd put that slide in. They told me 10 minutes before I was walking down here. I said, good, put it in. I like it. We all should like it. Because that's the future. That may be a president. Wouldn't that be great? I hope I live to see that. We need to do what's right for all the people. For our families, for our friends, for our neighbors. I urge you to approve this budget, as is. Don't change it. You know, the budget, I've done over $7 billion, as you know. We've changed very little over the years. Until last year, because we had a difference of opinion. Don't change this one. This is right. Make the right decision. This is right. I want to thank you. I want to thank all of you. I want to thank the public, the people, all the legislators. The ones I agree with, the ones I don't disagree with. That's fine. That happens. It's been a great joy for me. I love this job. Still love it. Some days people say, what are you, out of your mind? How could you love this job? No, but I do. You know, and like I said, the goal is this. And the goal should be for all of us. Leave it better than you began. Leave it better. Know that you made improvement. And people's lives and quality of lives have been enhanced, have been made off just a little bit better today. That's why it's great. Great run. Never sad for it. Always happy. I left teaching after 31. I was fine with it. I left a small businessman after 30-some and 60 in my family. That was tough. I'm okay with it. And I'm leaving this a public service. It's not politics. The critics say it's politics. And there's always critics. The true people that know call it public service. Because they don't have the time to do the job. They have to feed their families. They have to go to their jobs every day. But they understand this, ladies and gentlemen. They have elected you to do what they need to have done at these levels. To run the government. The greatest government in the world. You have been part of it. A small part of it. In a small county. But you've been part of it. Have that experience. Enjoy that experience. But in the end, do the right thing. May God bless you all. Bless the best county in the state of New York. We'll move on. We've had a great run. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Sit down, Millie, please. Thank you. Okay.